You know, sometimes you just need to be quiet. Take responsibility. Let the chips fall where they may. Don't send emails about your goal, or how much you're trying to collect, and get a good lawyer. Unfortunately, it won't be your husband, I don't believe, because he
A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers to my music and reviews. All of y'all who have been here through the long. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie Advice. It's time for Auntie Advice. It's time for Auntie Advice.
Hi, everybody. This is Auntie. Welcome. Let's get into this story without hesitation, procrastination, or anything else. Wendy has responded, and we're going to talk about it. There are two articles that I want to share with y'all real quick. And yeah, sometimes it's just better not to respond. It's just better sometimes to just have people guess. I know it may be hard, right? Because I'm going to be doing a video real quick because Marvin as Winans has responded, but people just need to let it go. They just need to Elsa and Disney this. I'm going to be reading to y'all an article out of Yahoo News about Miss Wendy. According to page 6, I guess this is. Is this page 6, Auntie? Yeah, this is page 6. Real Housewives of Potomac star Wendy accuses police of illegal arrest as she demands fraud charges be dismissed. This article is dated today, October 23rd, and the author of this is Riley Cardoza. Let's get into it real quick. Dr. Wendy demanded that her fraud charges be dismissed in a recent filing. Of course, we all know she was arrested on October the 9th and accused by the police, of basically committing fraud. She accused the police now of an illegal arrest in some court documents obtained by Us Weekly. So not only did Wendy insist on October 17th that there were defects in the charging documents, but she is now claiming all evidence should be suppressed because of an unlawful search or seizure. Let me continue. Wendy demanded the same of wire and verbal communications due to an allegedly unlawful interception, also claiming that unlawfully obtained admission statements or confessions should not be allowed as evidence. So when I heard the admission statements or confessions should not be allowed, I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? Most of the time when you file a claim, right, an insurance claim, um, for your property, right, there may be some things that you have in your house that you don't, you haven't brought, you don't know where the receipts are. Some things, you keep the receipts for, some things you don't. But at the end of the day, you talk to your insured, you make a claim against your insurance, right? And then you get a claims agent. And then after that, you get an underwriter. When you get on the phone, as soon as you call, or as soon as they call you, they tell you this conversation is going to be taped. And it just may be used against you. Then you sign after you all make the agreement. They send you out the documentation and then you sign it. That is a sworn affidavit that everything that you have said on it is true and accurate. So, what is she now talking about when she is saying unlawful, that there was an unlawful interception, also claiming that unlawfully obtained admissions, statements, or confessions should not be allowed? Which one was unlawfully obtained? She also requested that the trial of co-defendants should be severed from the trials of this defendant, referencing Addie's charges. What does she mean here? So let me take this. Let me highlight this. Hold on, y'all, because y'all know I got the check. I'm hoping y'all got a little bit of time. Okay, what does this mean in simple terms? Hold on, y'all. Let me copy, paste, and block and hit this for a result. So, okay, in plain English, she does not want to be tried in court at the same time or in the same case as Eddie and the others. She's saying, please let me have my own trial apart from his. People ask for this. Is called a motion to sever, when they think being tried together might hurt their chances. For example, if the evidence against Eddie is worse, or if the jury might lump them together as guilty. It means she's asking the judge to give her a separate trial from her co-defendant, which is her husband. Wait a minute, I got a question. Hold on, I got a question. So I asked ChatGPT, my bestie, why would someone want to do this, and is this to their advantage? So they said, here's why someone might want their trial separated. Number one, Auntie, they want to avoid guilt by association. I know you lying. They're married. They're married. How they not gonna be associated and they married? Now I know that there's a such thing where the wife can't testify against the husband, and the husband can't testify about the wife, against the wife. But wait a minute, they saying that she don't want to be. Wait a minute, what? If a co-defendant like Eddie has much stronger evidence against him, says tax witnesses or confessions, the jury might assume everyone involved is equally guilty. Having a separate trial helps prevent that. If their stories conflict with each other and are different, how their stories gonna be? I know how their stories gonna be different. A joint trial could make one person look bad. For example, if Eddie blames her and then she blames Eddie, the jury could get confused or side against both of them. Do y'all hear this? What? Y'all think that she gonna hire Phaedra? Let me stop being shady. Evidence that wouldn't normally apply. In a joint trial, some evidence against a co-defendant might still get shown in front of the jury, even if it doesn't involve her directly. In a separate trial, her lawyer can argue to keep out certain evidence. What? Better strategy. With her own trial, with Wendy's own trial, her lawyer can choose the timing, witnesses, and defense strategy without worrying about what other people are going to be doing. They say it's usually an advantage when one defendant has a less serious role. Girl, I know she ain't about to throw this on Addie. Because Addie is the one that sent the incriminating, in my opinion, email that said, look, go around the house, right? Go back there, back by the piano, lift up some of them candles up on the fireplace mantle and see if you can find some other because I want it to be at the max of what the insurance policy allows. So she can throw him all up underneath the bus. Sugar 48 said that's what it sounds like to me. She could say I had a less role in it. He was the one that was having the financial problems. I was secure. I had a job on Real Housewives of Atlanta. I was working at the college. I was about to be on Wife Swap. I was about to do a whole lot of stuff. I had, my role in this, this was all him. This won't me. Do y'all know how disappointed her family probably is with her, both of them? They probably so daggone disappointed and embarrassed. Let me go back. Let me go back. I'm going to repeat that. It's usually an advantage when one defendant has a less serious role, less evidence against them, or a different defense strategy. They said it doesn't work sometimes. A joint trial can be helpful if the defendant's stories support each other, or if splitting it up risks annoying the judge or giving the prosecution more chances to prepare. Ooh, ooh, that's shady. That appears to be a little shady, but whatever work. Maybe he's saying she the one that they was looking at on the show and had the ring on. Won't me. Ooh. Let's keep on reading, child, shall we? In a separate filing, Wendy's lawyer asked the prosecutors for an alleged evidence and a witness list. Who snitched? She want polygraph results of the witnesses, the names of any confidential informants, downtown to the Real Housewives of Potomac, and copies of all the police reports. Let me repeat that again. Wendy said snitches get stitches. I want to know what evidence you got. Who came up in here running their mouth and talking to the insurance company? Did the mofos take a polygraph? How you know they won't lie? Because you know I'm special and everybody jealous of me. And I want the names of any confidential informant. They don't have no immunity, no amnesty. She said, I don't need to know who snatched. Because ain't no way in the world y'all gonna tell me that y'all saw me with that ring on. Wendy, let me bring their pictures up. Do I got their pictures? No, that ain't down. Oh, where I put the shade? She said there are defects in the charging documents. Wendy and Eddie spent one night at Maryland's Carroll County Detention Center earlier this month after posting a combined total bill of $100,000. They have been indicted on 16 charges, 7 felony counts of insurance fraud, 8 misdemeanor counts of conspiracy to commit insurance fraud, and 1 misdemeanor count of making a false statement to police officers. For his part, he was charged with the same plus 2 more felony counts of insurance fraud. Oh my God. Under Us Weekly, let me see if they said something different. Oh my God. Wendy said they said in this article, Wendy is, I'll make sure I put the link in the description box, y'all, because I'm not reading the whole thing. Wendy is claiming she is the victim of an illegal arrest as she fights her fraud charges in court. She said that she is basically asking this to be dismissed based on defects in the charging document. Let's Google. Let's go ahead on and chat GPT that. Shall we? Oh yes, we shall. Okay, hold on. Let's see if I could chat GP that. Okay, what does this mean? Okay, hold on, y'all. Hopefully, y'all got time today because I got a little bit more time. Defects in a charging document basically means there are some mistakes or some problems in the official papers the prosecutor filed to accuse Wendy of a crime, like the indictment, information, or criminal complaints. Y'all, they said, okay, let me break this down for you, Auntie, in simple terms, because I know how you are, Basti. It says, in simple terms, Auntie, there's something wrong with the paperwork that says what I'm being charged with. Either it's wrong or details are missing. The document might leave out some essential facts like the date, the location, and how exactly the crime was supposed to have happened. Incorrect charge or statute. They might have charged Wendy and her husband. Let me say Wendy and or her husband for the wrong crime, used the wrong law, or cited to the wrong code section. They may not have enough evidence or clarity, but wait a minute, hold on. Didn't they say that they had came up in that mofo and they looked and said there wasn't nobody even standing up on the toilet seat, which is what they would have had to do if they had gained entry into the house through that room? Okay. Okay. Let's go back. Child, she said it's defaults. She demanded all evidence be suppressed because of an unlawful search and seizure. The Bravo Star also asked for all the wires and verbal communications to be suppressed because of an unlawful interception of a motherfucking conversation. She also claimed that the client was illegally arrested. She said when she confessed or when somebody confessed, child, it shouldn't be allowed in evidence because it was unlawfully attained. Meaning, did you read me my Miranda rights before I got to talking? Did you tell me? I'm telling you, that stuff be on the record on the phone. Ugh, give me. The reality star legal team told us the motions that were filed by our legal team are standard motions that are filed in every criminal case in Maryland. These motions are intended to prompt prosecutors to produce evidence pursuant to the Maryland rules. It is the routine to file these motions at the outset of every case to preserve evidence and to assert our client's right, though not every component is applicable in every case. Oh, Wendy said that the trial co-defendants should be severed from the trials of this defendant because Eddie was hit with charges over the same allegations. Oh, and so they said in a separate filing, Wendy's lawyer demanded that the prosecutors turn over any alleged evidence they possess. She demanded a list of all the witnesses, so we already talked about that. Oh my God. Wendy also wants to know and stood 10 toes down to the ground and says if you had any confidential informants who work with you on this investigation, I need copies of all of it, including the official police reports. Oh my God. Oh my God. But as you all know, in the original court documents, the prosecutors claimed that Wendy and Eddie had reported on a burglary back in their home back in April of last year. And the couple claimed that the home had been ransacked during their vacation to Jamaica and various expensive items had been stolen. But the police noted that Wendy and Eddie's security camera ain't catching nobody. They said that Wendy and her husband are back home safely with their family and in good spirits. They are grateful for the outpouring of concern and support from friends, fans, and colleagues. The 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 two of them alongside their legal team, they look forward to their day in court. At this time, they respectfully ask Auntie for their privacy as they focus on their family and the legal process that is ahead of them. And then she wrote to social media, and through it all God remains faithful. Thank you for the outpouring of love, support, and prayers for myself and more importantly my family during this time. We are forever grateful. Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I know Wendy's mama and Wendy's family is going the f- off. Thank you so much. Is it Asia 8482 for the $10? What's going to hurt her is that they have marriage debt together. They both benefit from the fraud. So she still complicit and compliant. You better go ahead on and talk your stuff, Aisha. Okay. Aisha said, I got 10 on it. I got 10 on it. Okay. Thank you so much, boo. Oh my God. Let me tell you something. When you got a mixed family, right? You got families from, different ethnicities and stuff like that, right? There's certain things that, that some cultures expect from their kids. They raise them up to be doctors and lawyers and all that. You know daggone well Wendy's mother, from the time that Wendy was in the womb, had already made a decision about what Wendy was going to be. And the same thing with her husband, Addie. That family will support you, endorse you. That ain't to say that, regular Americans don't. I ain't saying I ain't taking that. I'm just saying if you got them in your family like I do, you know that there's a different bar you got to obtain. Like there's a different bar and a different expectation for you to be successful in life. And they will take care of you till you 40, 50, 60 years old, as long as you obtain what they need you to obtain. Wendy had appeared to have the life. And you know what they say, all money ain't good money, in that, the more you have, the more you want, and the more you want, the more you need. I hope that this isn't true. Because, first of all, I don't know why they living out there in that county, but they are. Okay. They are. But this is a lot, I'm sure, on the family, because she had. Okay, so hold on. Let me get hold on. Let me try something real quick. Let me just bring up something real quick. Hold on. Hold on. Because y'all not used to me covering this. Y'all ain't used to me covering this. Wendy was born in Nigeria and immigrated to the U.S. with her family when she was about 3. Wendy has earned a BA in political science from Temple University, a MA in government from Johns Hopkins University, a MSc, and then a PhD in public affairs and community development from Rutgers in 2016. She became the first Nigerian American woman to earn that PhD in that field at the institution. Y'all know her mother and her family are going to win the golf. And Wendy, because that's a lot of money in school. And maybe that's where some of their debt coming from. Maybe. But that's a lot of accomplishments for a Nigerian woman. I think, you get the pressures. I know them girls is dragging Wendy. Because, child, when I looked at the last episode and the girl was dragging her at the table, and then when they got in the car, the girl still was dragging her, I was like, you're just going to have to get real gut and just fight at this point. But anyway, I digress. But I wonder if a lot of their debt came from all this education, because education ain't cheap. It's not cheap. She has served in roles such as assistant professor or affiliated faculty in education at Johns Hopkins University School of Education. Media and commentary. She is a political commentator, contributed to outlets such as The Hill. She founded and serves as CEO of the 1954 Equity Project, LLC, which focuses on equity navigational capital for underrepresented students. She is a main cast member on The Real Housewives of Potomac. In 2024, she was named Distinguished Visiting Professor of Wesleyan University, where she introduced a course entitled Social Psychology of Reality TV. In 2017, she was named one of 12 Pan-African women to watch by Face to Face Africa. Also in 2017, she received the Outstanding Graduate Award and Distinguished Recent Alumni Award from Johns Hopkins University. She was recognized by the Baltimore Business Journal in its 40 under 40 class of 2017. She was recognized by the Baltimore Sun as one of 25 women to watch. In October of 2005, Wendy and her husband was arrested. Now, see, you see what I'm saying? All these accomplishments. And then that pop up. And it's going to stay with her, because even if she is found not guilty and they do drop it, that's going to always be on her that she was arrested and spent $50,000 to get out. And that she got this wig on lifting. You understand what I'm saying? Smiling or halfway. I don't know if she was dazed. I don't know if they woke them up at night, because most of the time they serve you be like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. What you say, baby? She said, I heard that the student loans were close to $1 million. I can believe that. I've been thinking ever since Happy Eddie invested in that company, he's been wilding out. It's catching up with the family rap. Jesus. Hey, Naya Boo. It ain't cheap to be educated. Ask me how now. Addie. According to profiles, his background includes work as a state and local tax attorney. You know what? They gonna go all up in their taxes. I didn't even think about that. They gonna go all up and through that. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. They probably doing a thorough audit of their taxes, a forensic audit. His education varies. They say one summary indicates a law degree, JD, LLM, and engineering undergraduate degree. He is attorney. He has worked in law and tax firms like RSM US LLP. He founded or is involved in the brand Happy Eddie, a cannabis wellness brand targeting professionals. He is connected to agencies, consultings like the TKO agency, offering business strategy and tax planning services. And he appears with his wife. They said that the Happy Eddie brand is noteworthy because Eddie positions it as helping destigmatize and educate about cannabis usage, especially among professionals and communities historically impacted by drug criminalization. His entrepreneurial pivot from law into the wellness cannabis space is seen as breaking barriers for Black entrepreneurs in that industry. And then they go on to say the following. As with Wendy, Eddie is involved in a legal situation. In October 2025, he was arrested alongside with his wife. That's going to be on them the rest of it. Like, they ain't going to be able to shake that at all. At all. At all. And it's so unfortunate. And I'm sure that there are people who aspired to be her, to accomplish just a quarter of what she has accomplished in her life. And to get hung up over a ring, to get caught up over fraud, alleged fraud, to disappoint your mom and your family and them downtown to the house. Like, how they doing Thanksgiving this year? And then we ain't even talking about the kids. But she's asking for a full dismissal. And if she need them to drop these charges, because she said that this is frivolous and it's a fraudulent case. And she said that I need to find out who the snitches are. I need to find out if any of my cast members said anything. Allegedly. Did they say it? What did Giselle say? Who really my friend? Because I'm going to tell you, when stuff like this come up, it really does show you who your friend is and who your friends are not. What you saying, Whitney? Hey, boo. Her tagline on the housewife should be, she's educated, sophisticated, and slightly incarcerated. Okay? That's so freaking sad. I agree. I just wanted to come out here and let y'all know what was going down, what the folk is talking about, what the folk is saying. I will make sure that I leave a link to these articles so y'all can read it in its entirety. But Wendy, anytime you got me talking about Real Housewives of Potomac, because y'all know I don't cover it. But if I was covering, I probably would be more disappointed. And I probably would be dragging Wendy through the streets. I ain't never particularly happy for see it for it anyway. To be honest, I just ain't never seen it for, right? Like I didn't. I think y'all would be shocked who your auntie saw it for. But anyway, I'm gonna get the on about it here. Thank you all so much for being here. It's 9:32 and I gotta be at work tomorrow at 5. Because I was gonna talk to y'all about the Marvin Sapp situation, but guess what? Tomorrow's coming. Tomorrow's coming, and I'll talk to y'all about it then. Love y'all. Bye.